Welcome to the Business Empowerment Podcast, the show that keeps you in the know with what you need to know in business and technology and for yourself so you can grow. Welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Rob House, and my co-host, Wilton Rogers, got insight for miles. Miles and miles. We'll give you what you need to know. Get ready for the Business Empowerment Podcast.
What if there was a way to get more done?
What was that? Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are live.
We are live
to the Business Empowerment Podcast. Live. We are live around the world, man. This is an exciting day.
Dude, this is exciting day, man. And we have an amazing guest today. Where do we start with this, man? It's like, you wake up this morning like, oh, what? Lisa Nichols, like, we're what? So, where do we start, man?
If I'm dreaming, then just let me sleep. Don't wake me up till my dream is complete. Come on now.
There it is.
Listen, today's going to be a day that if you take notes, take them. If you don't take notes, it's the day to start. All right. Our guest is an inspirational, motivational, transformational speaker, coach, author, and so many more titles that we could give. But how about we just let her talk in a little bit? I had the pleasure of not only learning from Lisa's content, but I had the pleasure of also participating in a wonderful movement called Let's Grow.
Oh my goodness, yes.
It was absolutely phenomenal, and we're going to hear about that, and you're going to hear about how you can get involved. But let me just play this.
Rob actually wrote a song. You guys all follow Rob House. This brother is bad. He wrote a song called Let's Grow after seeing the movie.
Now you see what's been unseen. Martin Luther King had a dream for one team. Let's grow. Let's grow. Let's grow.
You are. I am. We're here. Let's grow.
Dude.
Come on. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. And well, first of all, your song, I already know all the words. I know Nicole's word. I know how she brings it in and what tone, everything. I listened so many damn times. It's an awesome song, dude. How you rocked that out that quick was pretty amazing. I remember you doing it too. You're like, hey man, I want to write this song. And when you wrote it like that, I was like, where does this come from, man? Where does this come from?
It's inspiration, man. Inspiration makes things easy.
Yeah, and for doing something like that for Lisa, man, I've been following her. I've been knowing about her since back in the, God, it's been years following. But every time you see her or hear about her or see on TV, the energy, man, it's like you always get something. You always take something with you. Just it could be one sentence. She was talking one sentence, and you one clip that quick, and you take something with you, man. I'm excited about this one, dude.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rob House. This is my co-host Wilton Rogers, the automation specialist. This is the Business Empowerment Podcast Live, and our guest today is Miss Lisa Nichols.
Welcome. Thank you.
The virtual show.
God, thank you.
Hello.
Thank you, Rob.
Nice to meet you.
Wow.
My pleasure, brother. My pleasure. I'm excited to be with you guys today.
Oh, man.
I don't know if your excitement can match ours. I'm not sure. Because it's two of us.
Well, let me just say, every day that you get the power of three that looks this way, having this conversation in such a time as this. So my excitement might match you guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I know it does now. I really appreciate you, Lisa. And thank you for being on the show. And thank you for what you do. And we open the show up a certain way, but this is going to be a slightly different show because we want to get right into what you're doing. I just think it's important I think the Let's Grow movie, that's how I was really introduced to really being in proximity to what you're doing. And so maybe you could just share. If you don't know who Lisa Nichols is, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a secret. Pun intended.
That's not.
Okay.
Just Google her.
Yeah.
Google her.
Right. So let's get into the meat of the Let's Grow movie and like what sparked this and what was your desire behind it?
Yeah, well, you know, Rob, when I look at my life, I born and raised in South Central Los Angeles. I lived between the Harlem Crip 30s and the Rolling 60s. I had 3 fights a week to get home from school, and I had to make a decision that I wanted to declare who I was going to be in the world, and I wanted to use whatever powers God gave me, not here to impose my belief system on anyone, but I call him God. I wanted to use the powers that I was given for good, but I didn't even know what powers I had. I didn't even know what voice I had. I didn't even know, you know, because I grew up fight or flight. I grew up, you know, each one get your own, not each one reach one, each one hold on your own. And so coming out of that environment and coming out of an environment of amazing parents, but everything in my physical environment was scarcity, lack, and struggle. It was just where I was born. That may not be everyone here. I hope not, but that was my experience. And then on top of that, the conversation that I had going on in my head, am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I young enough? You know, am I not too dark? Am my lips not too thick? Are my hips not too round? Is my hair not too kinky? So I had all this self-doubt about Lisa. Is Lisa okay? Can I actually be a contribution to the planet? Or am I just supposed to be a contribution to my household? Or can I be can I be a contribution to my community? Really, can I be a contribution to my culture? Do I have a right to be a contribution to other cultures?
Do I have the right?
Do I have the right to be a contribution to other cultures? And so I come from all those questions. I just want to give you the foundation. I was asking those questions early on. I didn't know how to pass psychology or how to get an A in sociology, but I definitely was studying my own behavior. So I come from that, and all of a sudden, over the years, you know, I look up and I'm the Chicken Soup for the African American Soul co-author, and then Chicken Soup for the African American Woman Soul co-author. Then I'm in The Secret, and then I do No Matter What. I see all these years of mass success, sitting next to Oprah and across from Larry King and beside Dr. Phil and going to lunch with Steve Harvey. I see all of this, and I put the two together, and I say I better use my voice for good.
Okay.
And so I say all that to go when the social injustice got polarized. It wasn't new last year. We all know that. Right. But nothing new about it. But when it got polarized at a way that it's never gotten polarized at, initially, Wilton, I was quiet. And I was quiet because I needed to be responsible for the fury I felt. I need to be responsible as a mother and as a mother of an African-American male child for the worry that I felt as my son was driving 20 hours across the country at the very time that everything went down. That very moment, my son was driving across country. And so I sat for a moment. I said, how do I fuse my world of transformation? Because what I stand for is transformation. I believe that we have a right to become transformed beings. That's our birthright. I believe that with everything in my soul. I don't care your color, your nationality. I don't care your religious background, where you come from. We have a right to constantly become transformed beings.
Yes.
So I had a responsibility as a transformed being and as a transformational leader to speak to transformation. Well, Rob, I had to get out of anger first.
That's
I had
tough.
to get out of worry first. I had to get out of resignation. I had to climb over so much, y'all, just to go, hold on. Let me be responsible for the calling on my life.
That's good.
And through spoken word, thank you so much, Joanna. Through spoken word is where my truth comes, which is why very few people have ever heard my spoken word. Because Wilton, my spoken word is unedited. It's edgy. It's prolific.
You have another name.
Real.
You have another name for the spoken word.
Yeah. That's Sister Soldier, Shantae. Sister
Yeah.
Soldier, Shantae.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always been very personal. So I wanted to speak to truth. So I allowed my spoken word, the essence of my sister soldier, Shantae, to come through with my Lisa Nichols transformational leader and say, what if I married them for the very first time publicly ever? And then I didn't want to have a conversation about cultural injustice just with my culture. I wanted to have a cultural conversation across color lines, edgy, real, raw, authentic, but healing conversation. And so it was literally going to be just a Zoom experience with me and Sean Smith, who is a transformational leader, who's a white male. And we were just going to go back and forth. And then it just kept unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And we found ourselves in Hollywood with an entire studio full of directors and producers. It just went wild.
I think it was like 30 producers on that.
30 producers, and everyone's crying. And at one point, Wilton, because we did it raw, and then we curved the edges. At one point, the entire studio had to be cleared and saged based on the truth that we allowed to live in between, all of us. So it was juicy.
I'm about to run up out of here.
And then, Rob, you just topped it off when you turned around and Sean said, listen to this. Like it wasn't even out yet. The movie wasn't out yet. And Sean said, listen to what this brother did. And just from watching the premiere, you turned around and gave us the deliciousness that you contributed to it. Oh my God. I was in tears. Every time I heard your song, I'm crying. Like, come on, God, look how you work. So, amen. Thank you, brother. It's just the beginning. You know, we hit the world kind of hard with it last year. We said we're going to let it kind of ease up and then we're going to come back out with it. So it's not going anywhere. It's going to be a piece that we constantly going to put in front of necessary peoples and parties and individuals.
I love that, Lisa. I love the fact of the timing of it. The play, the way that I call it edutainment. It's really interesting how edutainment works. People watch entertainment all day long, line up for it. When it comes to education, maybe not so much, but if you can do like you did and marry the two, edutainment. Now we got people actually talking, and what you did with those parties and with people coming together, I noticed that people were getting very uncomfortable. But they were getting comfortable being uncomfortable, which is a really weird thing.
Right there. If in the spirit of growth, I welcome discomfort. And we just had a bunch of grown-ups come to the table and say, I'm not here to beat you up nor to be beat up. I'm here to own, and I'm here to stand up. I'm here to rise up. I'm here to speak up. And the beautiful thing that you witness on so many occasions is the willingness to speak even when your voice shakes. And all I ask the world to do is be willing to speak up even if your voice shakes.
Oh man.
Come on now.
That's good.
Absolutely. And what's so powerful about Let's Grow, I think a lot of that dialogue, everybody's had that dialogue with somebody. Right? And for some reason, one of us always cuts the other one off and don't really want to understand from their point of view. And that one, what you did was make that happen. You know what I mean?
Well, I got to tell you, Wilton, that was difficult to get to because you have a Black man in this movie who was fire for his stand, for his experience, a very fair opportunity to want to speak to his experience. I mean, and he did it unedited. Then you have a white man in this movie who's saying, I don't understand. Like, let me tell you, I'm not the culprit. I'm not the person, but he's not aware of all of the stuff that's occurred, and then neither one of them are aware of how to move forward.
Ooh, that was
right. Neither one are. How do we coexist with this reality? How do we coexist? Because you are my brother. You are my brother, and I'm your brother. But how do we coexist with all this history back here? And it's such a great metaphor for how we do life. How do you move forward with the history you have, with the decisions you've made, with the actions you've been in and the inaction you've been in? How do you move forward whole and complete? It's a great question to ask yourself, to hold yourself accountable to. Am I keeping track, Or am I keeping score? When I'm keeping score, I'm looking for a reason to stay stuck. I'm looking for a reason to stay mad. But when I keep track, I'm simply calculating how I got here so that I can calculate my next move. And so my job is to keep that forward momentum going, which is why we call it the movie Let's Grow.
Let's grow. Plant the seeds in the ground. We are at the halfway mark of the show. And I asked this question to all our guests, and this is good, Wilton, because this is my favorite question to ask all the guests. Since, biased, you are my favorite guest, Lisa. I just said it. Okay?
I'm not gonna say you say that to all the guests. I'm gonna take that on.
I love them all. I love them. But this question I love the most because it really, if you think about this question and the impact that it can have, because I really believe the moment you speak something, it actualizes to an extent, and if you get more people around it, you can push it forward. Right. So, Lisa, if God came to you and God said, Lisa, you got one wish and only one wish only, it could be any wish that you desire, business, life, people, whatever you want, but just one, what would that one wish be?
One, I wouldn't rush at it. I wouldn't, and two, it immediately would have to be for something bigger than me.
Yes.
I'm not big enough as an individual to consume and be the equation. I would ask for us as humanity to have the courage to walk into our darkness with the trust that we'll come back out better healed. I would ask the wish, give us the strength and the courage to address our shadows.
Wow.
To address our shadows so that we can become the next best version of ourselves, not for ourselves, but for everyone who crosses our path. Just the courage, that we have the courage to address our shadows.
That's good.
And we have the desire to address it, that
that's big.
Like I said earlier, that we become excited about the action of becoming transformed beings. Because if we're all evolving, and in constant evolution, then when I step next to you, Wilton, and when I partner with you, Rob, I become a better person because who I'm next to. We find ourselves now hoping that the people we become connected to romantically, family, business, community, our neighbors, we hope and pray that they're not only in their right mind, but that they want to pursue more greatness because we want to be tethered to people like that. I would pray that we all as humanity are on that journey together. And then you're not worried or wondering about who you meet because everyone's on that journey of self-actualization.
Wow.
I love that.
That would be my wish.
I like that.
Beautiful.
Give them courage.
I love it. I love it. I love Tess. Hi, Tess. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Dr. Barbara. I see all the people talking. Hello, you guys. Type your name in so I can see your names and say hi.
Well, yeah. I mean, having that courage to speak your mind, speak your voice, and knowing what's coming at you, or preparing, not knowing, preparing for that and being able to get through that. That's powerful.
Yeah.
But you know what, Wilton, what it is it's the result of trusting yourself. I think if I look at anything that I have focused on to learn and my journey is teaching people how to touch their extraordinary. Like I want to, and extraordinary isn't about pursuing extraordinary. It's about looking at what ordinary looks like. Right.
Oh my God. You know what? Wait a minute. Please hold on to that for a second. We got to go to commercial.
All right.
But you hit a key point. I want to address that I've never really talked about, but all these things over. Oh my gosh. I want your input because I talk about certain things and I feel like, do I need to be there? Should I be there? Do I have to? But you just hit on something I want to talk to you about when you get back.
I would love that.
All right, we'll be right back.
What if there was a way to get more done by using less effort? What if you could eliminate all the mundane, tedious, repetitive daily tasks off your plate? What if you could have more time to do the things you want to do, like customer engagement, branding, and spending more time with those who are important to you, like your team, your friends, and your family? Well, you can, and RPA can do that for you. RPA, Robotic Process Automation, is a technology that is literally transforming businesses overnight, giving you and your staff more time to do more meaningful things. The STA Group will show you how this can be done in less than 30 days and taking less than 5 hours of your time in the process. In that 30 days, you will learn how to identify all the places of your business that can be automated, and the STA Group will show you how. From conversation to activation in less than 30 days. You will only find that right here. You will be ahead of your competition, and you will give your business the opportunity to grow once you learn how to scale through automation. Contact us today for a free 30-minute discovery evaluation, and we'll show you how to transform your business overnight.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a fact. It is overnight. If you want to know more, we got a webinar next Tuesday. We will teach you about this technology to learn how to automate your business. Now we're back.
Did we get a lot of people comment? Dimitri, Natalie. Hey, Natalie, I haven't seen her, talked to her in a while. Not on Facebook much, but good to holler at somebody local. Ted.
I know all the love. I love it. I appreciate you guys.
Ryan King has been a master with these parties. He has been,
he's
been putting together watch parties. He's been doing it.
Brother Ryan.
Clean. He's always clean, right?
Now, did you have a question, Wilton, before I went into the next thing? Because I thought you had something.
Rob said, "I'm ready to go."
Well, I want you to continue off what you were talking about, because there's something I want to ask about that point.
Yeah.
Can you just get our audience know what we were talking about?
Yeah. So one of the things I teach leaders, change makers. I want to work with people who want to play big, or many who already are playing big in the world, gladiators, unicorns. And we're always looking to touch our next best. That's what we do. Everyone here, you type in chat if that's you. I'm looking for my next best. Say yes. Mm-hmm. And so pursue extraordinary. Don't pursue good. Don't pursue great. Pursue extraordinary.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, people make extraordinary look like it's way off in the abyss. You can't touch it. And I always say, first look at ordinary. That's your measuring place, because the majority of people are playing at ordinary. And then ask yourself, what does extra look like on that ordinary? And if you put extra - ordinary together, then you actually see the word extraordinary. Someone type extra - ordinary. And so the concept of look at the ordinary that people are doing and ask yourself the question, what does extra on that? What does extra customer service on that looks like? What does extra sales look like? What does extra application look like? What does extra kindness look like? And if you put some extra on your ordinary, listen, you have extraordinary, and then you grow from there.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Just put a little extra on your ordinary.
That's huge. That's huge. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because I want to share something I don't think I've ever shared with anybody.
Like that.
My wife knows it, but I mean, like when I'm talking to, and sometimes when you first start off in a business, you start off on your journey. And Rob will know. I like to do research, and I'm reading all the time. I'm researching. I'm in the middle of the night. I'm texting stuff. I'm like, if someone's working more than me, I'm like, man, I'm going to be scared of them. Right. So that's just me, because it's just natural for me to do that. But then I talk to people that are, I'll go out to dinner, I'll do something where I met somebody that has done just amazing things. Right. And then you sit down and talk to them and you realize I know more than you do, and I feel like there's no, and I feel sometimes I feel bad. Like, should I not? Because I feel like where he's at, I've already experienced. Obviously, he did good for himself and ended up in a position where he really succeeded. But when it comes down to knowledge or understanding where we're at right now, I know more. And I feel like, should I continue on with that? But sometimes I'm like, no, man, let me go to the next one. I'm going to find out someone that knows more than him and move forward.
Yeah. Absolutely. And as long as you, to me, I'm always marrying what I know with what I'm doing.
That's good.
What I know with what I'm doing with what I know. So applied action, applied information, transformation and education does nothing without action.
Yes.
Joe Bias says that action is the antidote for despair. Lisa Nichols adds, action is the prescription for success. Most people, and this is not speaking, I hear what you're saying, you research and then you get into the doing. Most people have become collectors of information. And Google has supported that, and all the online learning, collectors of information. Instead of becoming an info junkie, I always tell people, don't become an info junkie, become an implementation junkie, right? Even at the risk, listen to this, even at the risk of doing it all wrong, because action brings answers. Yeah. And if you do it wrong, you at least know what wrong looks like.
Action brings answers.
Action. And what we're doing, many people are saying, I'm waiting to get clear to take action, Lisa. And then I respond, clarity is waiting on some action to come. So if you want to get clear, get into action, because with action comes more clarity.
I love that. That's like the book, Ready, Fire, Aim. Get ready, fire, and then, you know.
And do your R&D. I'm a big R&D person as well. Whenever I work, I do executive coaching. I coach clients. I become the co-CEO in their business and in their life. And I say, have you done your R&D, or are we going to guess at it? Because I would think that your resources, your money, your time, your energy, your efforts, and your hope deserve more than just a guess on any given day. Do some R&D and then follow it up with action, and then let's assess what we learned, and then let's get into more action. And so I always say, I'm not the smartest person in the room. I'm not quite like you, Wilton. I'm not the smartest person in the room. I'm functionally dyslexic. I've been that way since I can remember, but I knew about it since I was 19. And so it takes me 3 months to read a book. My fiance, he reads 5 books a month. I read one book.
Good to hear. Thank you.
Well,
thank you for saying this.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, by the way.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
That's all that was wrong with me. I know I'm
right.
I know I have the ability, but it takes so long to read a book. But let me get it in my ears, my eye gates and ear gates. It's on and popping.
That's what I mean. Because see, for me and Rob, talk about read. I'm like, I read that book, but everything that I do is audiobook. Everything that I have is audiobook.
You know your strength.
Yeah,
you know
my strength.
That's it.
I'm dyslexic too, so I struggle. But now that I put the audio, I was like, "Oh, you're in trouble now."
Right.
A lot more.
Right. But you know the difference between me and most people. Look at my career, and I sometimes I hear my bio read, and I'm blown away. And whenever they say she reaches over 80 million people a year, I go, "What?" I'm just blown away. But when people ask me, "How did you get there?" I say, I was willing to bank on Lisa more than most people would bank on themselves.
Okay.
I trusted my fly.
Yeah.
And I trusted, Rob, my fall. I want you to hear that.
Yeah.
I trusted my fly, my ability to soar, but I trusted if I fail. You know why? Because I got comfortable with the reality that I can get up. That will make you trust love again. That will make you trust a new business deal. That will make you get in front of a camera more. That will make you ask that scary question that you might hear no to. See, I was willing to bounce back. I trust my bounce back. I'm not perfect, but I trust how I manage my imperfection.
Trust that bounce back. I like that.
Trust my bounce back.
Trust your bounce back.
That is trust the fall. That is so powerful. I mean, you have to. I mean, you can't move forward. You can't trust that your own fall at all. That is huge. I never heard it that way before. You're right.
And I can teach a whole lesson in my workshops on the fall, just so that people go out and go, oh my God, I can't wait to fall. Yeah. Right? Yes. Not that you're expecting the fall or you're planning the fall, but you're prepared for the fall because you trust the get up. And let me just say this just to all the beautiful souls who are listening. Until you trust your fall, meaning you're willing to hit the ground. And when you hit the ground, you're either going to do one or 3 things. You either going to bounce back up because it's something soft. You're going to stay there for a minute because it's kind of hard. Or you're going to stagger up slowly and then learn your lesson. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. Until you trust what could happen if you fall, you'll never, ever really take the full leap, Rob. Because you're trying to protect. We do it all the time. And by the way, you can make 6 figures, even 7 figures, not trusting the fall. because you're staying inside that zone of what you know you can manage.
Right.
Everything you want is on the other side of what you understand.
Ow.
Oh yeah, you know how I roll. You know
Yeah.
how everything you want. So if you're in the business of proving, protecting, defending, or hiding, you're limited.
Mm.
Now listen, I just dropped a whole lot on you, and it's not a make wrong conversation. It's just the constant opportunity to be actualized. It's the constant goes, oh, okay, hold on. I'm steady running the fly, and I need to become comfortable with my fall, not plan to fall.
Yes.
But I'm comfortable with my fall. Now I'm ready to fly.
I like that. I like that. And so I know for a fact during this Extra You live virtual conference, we're gonna get some nuggets. We're gonna get some support, some
buckets,
build those attributes up. I already know. And so let's drop a little bit, because I think that anyone watching this, you should be a part of this. If you're looking to take yourself to the next level, no matter what you're doing, no matter what kind of job you have, it all depends on the person doing the thing.
That's it.
And become the best person. This is the best person I know, and now that I've talked to, thank you for that one, that can help you get there. Let's talk about that a little bit, Lisa. Extra You live virtual conference.
So it's our extraordinary you. And I love this conference because it's my second annual. I've been doing conferences now for the last 16 years. But I decided to shape a conference. I launched it last year in 2020, and it was all around how do I discover and fine tune and call to the next level my greatness, wherever I am today. And it's very granular. So the individuals come out of this conference. One, I'm real big on tribe and community. If you're in a community that's running, you're not going to sit down. So my environment helped to transform my life. Now, my environment didn't look like me, didn't sound like me, and they weren't necessarily people that I would go out to dinner with or vacation with. I just dropped myself in the environment because they helped me learn and grow. Does that make sense, you guys?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I created an environment of like-minded gladiators, like-minded change agents who are all ascending to the next best version of themselves. And in order to do that, you need someone 10 to 20 steps ahead of you, helping to navigate the path. So this is a conference really about what does your next best stretch look like? What does, if I put some extra, you came enough to the conference, but if I put some extra and you put some extra on who you are today, what would that look like 6 months from now? Wow. So I'm very result driven as a coach. You step on the campus, it's 3 days. I become your coach. I bring some of the best transformational leaders from around the world to help co-facilitate with me. And all we're coming for is your transformation. Now, you will be entertained in the process, but trust and believe that's bonus, that's extra, that's trimming on top of the cake. We're coming for your transformation. What happens on the other side is that we drop you in some small tribes, small groups, where now you get to run. It's not a 3-day experience. It's a 3-day launch. Y'all hear me?
Yep.
It's a setup because I needed an environment that I can go back to that required me to discover my greatness. I needed an environment where I didn't have to dim my light. I didn't have to shrink my brilliance. I didn't have to hide my dyslexia. I didn't have to wonder if they like me. Yes. I needed an environment where I could come and check out the colors of my wings.
Come on.
And still figure out, what do I not know yet? Right. And help me discover what's in my blind spot. I needed that. And so I created what I needed 20 years ago. I didn't find it initially. I searched everywhere, and I created something where gladiators, unicorns, and change agents come to touch your next best version of yourself.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm super excited about it because 2 years ago, my conference similar to this was $997. And we made this one so, like I just said, guys, I'm doing the conference in my Uggs. I'm doing the conference in my Uggs. We got to pass that love on to somebody. And so, right? So now we're passing the love on to everybody. So it's easy to come.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, you know what? I mean, we have all the information right there. I think we definitely want to spread this one out. I think it's huge for all of us. And I think that's what we're going back to earlier, where I was like saying, when you learn so much for a certain area, a certain person, certain room, and you can still stay there, but you need something else to advance you physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. You always look for something that's going to get you further and further and further and further. And
you want to hook your caboose.
Right.
to
Yeah.
someone else's train.
Yeah.
Always hook
Always.
you the boost to
Always
someone
hooking.
else's
Always
train.
hooking.
Always hook. I'm
Always.
always hooking.
And this is that big hook right here. So, I think this is something we all definitely need to take a look at, because you're right. I think, there gets to a point where, where even it doesn't matter where you are in life.
Yeah.
You could be happy, like I'm set, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm happy. There could be a next level of happiness. You don't know once you step into somewhere on the unknown, and this can actually bring that out in you and bring out a higher you, for sure.
Yeah. And my grandmother, may she rest in peace. I just buried her last month. She used to always remind me, and I used to always say this. She passed away when she was 92. She said, "Sweetheart, when you get my age, you're supposed to sit in your favorite rocking chair." And I bought her a Lamborghini rocking chair, y'all. This rocking chair did everything but, cook her food. She said, "Lisa, when you get my age, you're supposed to sit in your favorite rocking chair like I am. And you're supposed to sit and tell and share the stories of your life to anyone that would listen." Oh, she said, "But when you're your age, Rob, when you're your age, Wilton, you're supposed to make sure that the story is going to be good to tell."
Mm.
Time it, y'all. We got
one.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
You got one job right now.
That's
Make sure that the story is going to be good to tell.
I love the stories of you and your grandma, especially when you took her to go see Oprah in that red couch.
Woo!
I love it. Grandma they have a way of this. The wisdom it falls on you. It just goes right to the bloodstream. You just get it. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that.
Welcome. You're welcome. You know what I love about being in environments like this is seeing Dr. Barbara and Zayad and LinkedIn user and Ryan and John and seeing this environment is that when you can collaborate and in a space, people allow you to say, and live in your duality and say, I'm brilliant at this and I'm still learning over here. And that willingness to live in your constant duality of brilliance, genius, light, and learning. Wow. And you want a tribe that's going to allow both of those versions of you to coexist in the same space. And that's, I think, if nothing else, I believe we offer a lot of great content. I pull in the $6 million that I spent bad, and I share those lessons so that you don't have to spend any more money on learning the lesson I already learned. And I pull in from the over $70 million that I generated doing something right or doing something long enough where it turned into right.
I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
You can have it. You got to be in the game long enough. You got to be in the game long enough to be able to have that kind of stature. I pull in everything I have. I don't want to hold anything back, because my job now is to see how much can I sprinkle so that when you talk about that seed in that song, Rob, when you do the seed thing, when you're in the field, I'm just like, I want to go crazy when I see it, because that's the season I'm in. It's planting seeds in other people on the things I've already learned. And so you want to also learn in a community that allows you to be in duality, be brilliant, be a light, and then still come saying, I'm hungry and I'm ready to learn. That's what you provide.
So beautiful.
Thank you. Extra U Live Conference. Get there. The link is in. Thank you, Johnny, for dropping it in there. Johnny dropped the link in there as well.
Yeah. And you guys, by the way, you're the first group that I've ever announced it to. So it's not being publicized yet. I was surprised when I looked at my appointment and Johnny said, we're going to tell them about Extraordinary. I was like, oh, really? We haven't done one yet. So it's still private. We opened it up to our private community and 500 people already jumped in, but we haven't opened up publicly yet. So I just want to invite you guys, if you're thinking about coming, go ahead and take advantage, because we do cap it out at about 1,600 people, because we put people in small groups for the intimacy, for the connection, for the tribe, that inner circle connection. And so we do put a cap on it, but you guys are the first ones. So Rob, you said something right to Johnny.
Well, I'm glad I did. And I'm glad you shared it, because I am about people getting better. I've dedicated my life to this. I just want to be where I need to be so I can be who I need to be.
Amen. Amen. Let me say this to the both of you, as my grandmother would say. Your money ain't no good here. So I got a ticket for both of y'all to come. as my guest.
Oh,
My grandmother would say, "Baby, look, I'm a pour into your ministry, into your business. So for your community, come on, join. For the two of you, Johnny, hook them up. Make sure they're there."
Oh my goodness! You know
I'm already at the door.
I'm already there. Yes.
I'm already at the virtual door.
Listen,
Wait,
and for the record, this isn't charity. This is an investment. I know y'all do a good return on investment with what you put out into the work.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Man.
I'm so thankful. Thank you.
What?
Oh, you won't miss a session. We're there.
It's like Christmas.
Come
It
hungry.
is.
Come hungry.
That-
If you come empty, me and my team will come full and pour into you everything we have.
Wow. Thank you.
This has been just over the top wonderful of an experience. And now we get the gift at the end. I don't even know. I mean, it can get better. You know, you can say it can't get any better. No, it can get better.
Better.
It's going to get even better. I'm so happy you came on this show, Lisa. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for what you're doing, your commitment to being yourself, and your commitment to helping others self-actualize, which is like a really fun word.
You know, I'm honored to be able to be on the planet at the same time with brothers like you. I believe that yesterday while I was working out, I wore a t-shirt that says, and maybe you've seen this t-shirt, "I am my ancestors' wildest dreams."
Yes.
Right. You know about that t-shirt.
Yes.
T-shirt I wore yesterday while I worked out. And I would dare change the "I am" to a "we are."
Oh, yeah.
We are our ancestors' wildest dreams come true. And so I celebrate each one of you. I celebrate you for dancing the way you dance, in your brilliance, in your spirituality, in your skin, and in your ownership as men beside women. I love watching you in the video. I just love the dynamics. I'm like, yes. So I thank you for letting a sister like me know, who's been charging the way for a very long time, that there are soldiers and generals and gladiators coming along, and I'm not doing it by myself. You know, and anything that I can pour into you, the answer is yes. And you just determine the question.
Wow. Emoji.
Thank you. Thank you. And what's been amazing on this journey is that the more you connect with people, like I connected with Rob, right? He's connected with you. I connect with you. That circle of that connection, that circle of people that you really look up to and end up have that love for, it's becoming so strong, so small, so powerful.
Yeah.
And so
but you have to be in action to generate some of that. If Rob wasn't in action, then Sean wouldn't have told Lisa about Rob.
Exactly.
You got to be in action. So don't get paralysis of the analysis. Don't study and try to figure out how can you make it right. How can you make it right? Do it, because I'd rather you do it wrong. Because if you do it wrong, you're doing something.
You're doing something.
Right.
Thank you.
I'd rather all day long. We forgive errors. We don't forgive stagnation, right? We don't forgive stuck, right? And so, amen. I appreciate
there it is. There it is. Here is the mic.
Drop that mic.
Here it is. Thank you, Lisa, for being on the show. I'm going to hold this here until you go. We thank you for being here.
You.
Fantastic. Lisa Nichols, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
One more time. What's that? Is that video still here again?
Oh, yeah.
It's in the house, of course. Of course.
Good.
Rob actually wrote a song. You guys all follow Rob House. This brother is bad. He wrote a song called Let's Grow after seeing the movie.
Now you see what's been unseen. Martin Luther King had a dream for one team. Let's grow. Let's grow.
What is this talking about?
Let's grow. Plant the seed and let's grow. Let's grow. Let's grow. Plant the seed in the ground.
You are. I am. We're here. Let's grow.
We have a couple more minutes. We'll stay live for a minute, man. But
Come on. Dude, what the heck just happened here?
That's what I'm saying, man. Right now, like,
how is a human, like, the design of a human to be so impactful and inspirational? It's just phenomenal, man. And I love being around people like that, you know, because they make us better. They make us better. They make
immediately. Like right now, I'm still trying to consume everything. You know what I mean? There was so much power, that whole conversation, that I'm still like, okay, I need to take a breath because I need to consume what I just heard and what I
right.
Know, so that was powerful, man.
Right.
I mean that was.
Thank you all for staying with us and watching and hanging out. I hope that you were touched, blessed, and moved as much as we were. Okay.
Yes.
Real talk, man. Lisa Nichols. Did you see her? Did you see her give us tickets? Look,
dude, she gave us tickets, man.
Did you see this?
I was like, what? I don't know what's happening. No one better get sick at that time.
Right.
No one better, you know, whatever that time frame at the end of the month no, I'm cutting it off, man. Don't even contact me. So yeah, man.
Good, man. It's good. This is wonderful. It's wonderful, man. Hey, we're still live. What's up, Rhonda? Let's grow. Let's grow. Thank you for watching.
That's my cousin.
That's your cousin?
That's my cousin Rhonda. Yeah,
what's up, cuz?
I'm on Facebook, man. I'm not on there. Like, I'm not live on there, but this is live on there now, I believe, because I think we connected to it. But it's so good to see you. Love you, cuz. Thanks for reaching out.
That's cool, man. That's
dude,
cool.
But she kept. Let's talk about some of those points, man. I mean, you know, I think one thing that really caught my eye on one of those was, you know, she talked about where you are, you know, and what there's more in there. You don't know, you know, you have to know how to get there. You have to know the path to get there. And if you don't know another path, this is like a great conference to go to find out, right? But always know how does she say it? The fall part, not fall forward, but learn how to fall or something.
Basically, learn how to embrace your fall. Essentially, just learning how to fail and accept failure. Like, know that failure's coming. It's coming because everything is about growth and development. You can't develop something that's already developed.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm like, yo, this is so good. Yeah.
You can't. Learning how to get back up. Like, literally, people always talk about it, but you really don't do it, right? It's like, okay, you and I know, in being in the business, we fail almost every day, but to us, a year ago, that might have been fatal to us. Like, oh, we'll fix that in a minute. You know what I mean? You know. So you know, those type of failures are get easier and easier, but also you know, the courage. You talk about the courage. Oh, right on, cuz.
Yep.
Yep. No, I know. I need to keep moving too. So, but their courage, right? I think that courage is important, and people understand is like when you know you start something, you're gonna get beat up.
Yep.
You're gonna get beat up physically, mentally, spiritually. Everything's gonna test you. But as long as you have that courage to get through it, you know, figure out how to get through it, it becomes a lot easier. And I think that's one thing she touched on. Like, oh, she's like, you know what? People think they have courage, but they don't. There's like, oh, they end up doing something, and then, you know, that's why our journeys in this entrepreneurship that we've had is like, dude, we've had so many. We had failures.
Yeah.
Not this one, but companies before.
Right.
You know, but now it's like, you know, we already know. It's like, okay, we had that. We're not worried about that part anymore. We're not gonna fail in that part anymore. We've already done that. Don't go down that road because it took us like 2.5 years to recover from that. Don't do that. You know, we've already been through that, right?
Right.
So I think she touched on a lot of good points, and even knowing how much courage that we've gone through, like what we can hold on to a lot. I mean, we can let go of a lot and be able to consume what we've learned. And
courage gives us the ability to let go of that crap and to consume what we learn.
Right.
We got the strength. Yeah, for sure.
Our thoughts continue learning, but
yeah,
like this, like her conference coming up, the extra you. that even could give you a different type of courage too, because you think that you are to a point like, oh, I'm courage. I've already lost businesses. I gained them back. I did this. I did that. Then you go to something like this, and it's going to wake you up. Like not wake you up, but it's going to empower you to do like there's more. Like, okay, wait a minute. There's a next level of courage that I need to attempt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man.
That's big, dude. I love that. I love that, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, courage. You know, courage. And how do you get that?
Butterfly and your fall. Thank you.
Butterfly and fall.
That's
Believe in
it.
yourself. Believe in yourself and do the work. You got to take action. You got to take action. Once you start taking action, taking steps, it becomes easier to take steps. Lisa was saying, like, you got to move. Action is what creates it. Action is what put me in the proximity to be around Sean. Action would put me in the proximity to be around Lisa. Action is what puts us in the proximity to get some of the clients that we have.
Right.
Action. Lights, camera, baby.
That's it.
Love it, man. Love it. This is so good. So good.
That was real good, man. That's real good. But anything else? What else we got to talk about before we? I know we have a few minutes.
We got a webinar, man. We got a webinar on Tuesday.
Yes. Yo, you know what?
On Tuesday.
Yeah. Answer some of these chats. Well, let me see if I can pull up that video so we can play real fast.
Yeah. Got a webinar. So listen, if you have a business, okay, if you have a business or you know somebody who has a business, right? Either one, they should be on this webinar. It's like 30 minutes long. And the reason why they should be on it is because there is a technology right now, and it's a business technology. It's called RPA. Most people don't know about it. But this thing that people don't know about is referenced as the fastest growing software technology in the entire technology industry. It's referenced as the thing that's impacting more businesses right now around the world and will continue to do so. And it's growing at a freaking compounded annual growth rate of like 50% plus over the next year or so.
Yeah.
It's time to get in and get educated. It's not time to go buy stuff. It's not time to go purchase things. It's time to just get educated so then you can take the right action. You find it?
Yeah, I found it. I'll play it here in a second. But I think that's so important, man. That's why we're doing this webinar. It's called RPA 101. We'll run it here in a second. But if you're in business, if you know people that are in business, you know, just the understanding, not to sell. We're not even trying to sell, you know, but RPA it's growing. Right. So, but it's the knowledge, the understanding, because every business needs that understanding of it, regardless of where you're at in your business. Whatever you're doing right now, you can understand how to do it faster. That's the bottom line.
That's a good way of putting it.
Don't change the thing that you're doing. Whatever you're doing right now can be done faster just by automating things that you don't realize you can automate. So that's why we're going to have these webinars, RPA 101, so you can have the understanding of how to identify areas of your business that can be automated so you can take that load off you and your team's back and focus on things that are going to bring more value. You can focus your time, your energy, mental focus has gone away from that repetitive task or that task completely. You can focus on something else. You never have to worry about that again. Guess what's going to happen to that time? Guess what's going to happen to that thought, to that focus? It's going to turn all attention to being able to do something else that's going to be more beneficial to the company. That's what the big thing about RPA. The other automating is the easy part. It's what's going to do to the person is going to allow them to be able to help that company grow. And that's what the missing link is. We're going to share that on here. What is it, March? This video show. Let's go to the video. We'll come on back.
Yep.
RPA is currently the fastest growing technology in the software industry, and it's estimated in the next 2 years to grow over 50%. That means by 2023, every business will know what RPA is, and about half of them will have some kind of RPA implementation within their own organization. What does this mean for you? It means you need to know what it is, how it works, and the best part, you don't have to be a tech genius. The STA Group will be hosting a webinar that will help shed some light on how it works and how you can take advantage of it without investing your time and money. This webinar will educate you on what RPA is and how you can take advantage of it for your business in less than 30 days. And we will do it all in 30 minutes. We have created a blueprint that will get you on the fast track to benefiting from this amazing technology overnight. There has never been anything like this. If you want to be ahead of the game and learn how to automate what you are already doing, then join us this month for an RPA 101 webinar. These 30 minutes will give you insight on how the Fortune 500 have been growing so fast year after year. There is a next level of automation and it's called RPA. Join us this month for the 30-day blueprint to automation success.
Yep. There it is.
Automation success, man. 30-day.
Hey, I'm gonna put this link out here. Let's see if it. I don't know if it goes to everybody. Let's see. No, it went to YouTube, and it went to Facebook. It went to our business Facebook. That's the link to the webinar. I put on there. You might have to put on your end too, Rob, because I think you're LinkedIn. You're hooked up to LinkedIn, so I might have to grab that chat. And you see it? You there? You keep freezing.
Am I back?
Your voice is, but your face isn't. Oh, well, your body, your movement isn't. You there?
I'm here. But
okay, that's okay. It'll come back. There you go. You're back.
I'm putting in a webinar.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so there it is. There, yeah, it's going to be a powerful webinar. We're looking forward to definitely showing what this technology can do to any business of any size. You know, it can be. I mean, we're working with a company that has 2.5 employees. You know, to one that has hundreds of employees. So it works for everybody. But the understanding is the most important part. Understanding how to identify where to put this technology in your company is important. And you can look at all the data. You can look at everything that you want to. You know, it's going to be hard to really identify something that you can relate to. This webinar is to do that. Is to show you that you can relate to it, and your company can relate to it. So, because every company is different. We have 5 different accounting firms we're working on, all work on the same process, but the logic is totally different. So it doesn't matter from one person to the next one. It's just, you know, this webinar was going to allow you to identify that for your company. So pass the message on, pass it on to others. If it's not you, pass it on to somebody.
And listen, pass it on, and also keep this in mind as well. We just launched our affiliate program. When the affiliate program is as simple as this: you share this link, you share this link, or you share some information with someone who has a business, and this can help, and we help them, then you win as well. And so we have that program set up, and it's as simple as sharing information. Hey, you have a business. It's not about changing anything. It's about doing it better and more efficient. And we're talking about speed involved in that. And so that's easy. That's easy. But again, before you go anywhere, come get education. Come get some insight, and you'll see just how easy it is to understand the foundation of this, and even easier to share.
That's it. You know, and once people understand that, it's very important to see how easy it is to take advantage, not to see the value out of it and to help their business. That's the whole thing. Is like, if this technology changes the game for any business, man, immediately. We see that happening with our clients.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
But once people understand it, like, oh, now I get it. That's when change happens immediately, and it makes them much happier. Their employees. I mean, it's like a chain effect, and we've seen it, man. And we're excited to share that with everybody on the 30th. So that's about it, dude. Time is up, almost top of the hour. We're running exactly an hour. So we're gonna be doing this every twice a week, right? Or once a week.
Well, we're going once, and then we're eventually going to be going twice, Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and then our goal is to, you know, bring great guests on here, get some questions answered. Like, have a discussion sometime, have some Q&A, really get your questions answered, and move the ball forward. Like, not just, as Lisa was saying, consume a whole bunch of information and just consuming information, but consume it, take action. Consume it, take action. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's it. Lisa Nichols, if you're out there again, thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for being
man.
on there. Truly
Let's
grateful and honored.
go. Hey, that's good, man. That's good.
Go register for the conference. Go if you haven't seen Let's Grow, take a look at it and open your eyes big time. Let'sgrow.com, I believe it is. There it is right there. Let'sgrowmovie.com. So it's big time. Go take a look at that. And we'll be getting back with you again next week. Everybody have a blessed weekend. All right, brother. Holla at you later.
Love.
Peace.
What if there was a way to get more done by using less effort? What if you could eliminate all the mundane, tedious, repetitive daily tasks off your plate? What if you could have more time to do the things you want to do, like customer engagement, branding, and spending more time with those who are important to you, like your team, your friends, and your family? Well, you can, and RPA can do that for you. RPA, Robotic Process Automation, is a technology that is literally transforming businesses overnight, giving you and your staff more time to do more meaningful things. The STA Group will show you how this can be done in less than 30 days and taking less than 5 hours of your time in the process. In that 30 days, you will learn how to identify all the places of your business that can be automated, and the STA Group will show you how. From conversation to activation in less than 30 days. You will only find that right here. You will be ahead of your competition, and you will give your business the opportunity to grow once you learn how to scale through automation. Contact us today for a free 30-minute discovery evaluation, and we'll show you how to transform your business overnight.